Ellen DeGeneres stopped mid-sentence, watching the 45-year-old man sitting across from her carry a weight that had nothing to do with the mop he pushed every night. Marcus Williams wore his best thrift store suit, and when he spoke, his voice had a richness that didn't belong in empty school hallways at 2 a.m. What happened in the next 60 seconds would become the most powerful moment in daytime television history. Because sometimes when legends collide over a story of dreams deferred, magic doesn't just happen. It explodes into millions of hearts. Nobody in that Warner Brothers studio knew they were about to witness something unprecedented. Not the cameras rolling, not the producers checking their notes, and certainly not Marcus Williams, who thought he was just there to talk about a viral video of him singing while mopping floors. But Ellen knew. Ellen had been planning this moment for 3 weeks, ever since a video had made her call Beyoncé personally and say 7 words that would change a man's life forever. There's a voice you need to hear. The video was only 2 minutes long, shot by a high school student who stayed late studying. In it, Marcus Williams, school janitor, was singing Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" while cleaning a classroom. Not humming, not casual shower singing. Professional-level vocals that made the student stop studying and start recording. The caption read, "Our janitor has the voice of an angel. Why is he cleaning schools instead of filling stadiums?" Within 48 hours, 30 million views. Within a week, Ellen had tracked him down. Now, as Marcus sat in that blue chair, his calloused hands folded nervously in his lap, he had no idea that the woman he'd been listening to since he was a teenager was watching him backstage. "Marcus, where did you learn to sing like that?" Ellen asked. His face lit up. "My mama enrolled me in church choir when I was 6. But I got serious about it in high school. Had a vocal coach who saw something in me. She helped me apply to Juilliard." "Juilliard?" Ellen leaned forward. "Did you get in?" "Full scholarship," Marcus said, and for a moment pride flickered across his face before something darker replaced it. "I was supposed to start in fall 2002. I was 18, had my bags packed, had my whole life planned out." "What happened?" Marcus took a deep breath. 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave, my mama got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She was a single parent, raised me and my 2 younger sisters alone. There was nobody else to take care of them. The studio went completely quiet. So I unpacked those bags, told Juilliard I couldn't come, got a job at a warehouse to pay bills, took care of Mama. She fought for 2 years, but his voice cracked. She passed when I was 20. Ellen felt her throat tighten. "And you never went back to music?" "By then I had my sisters to finish raising. Then they needed help with college. Then life just kept happening. I'm 45 now. Been working as a janitor for 15 years. Decent job, good benefits. But sometimes late at night when I'm cleaning those classrooms, I sing the songs I was supposed to sing on real stages. And I wonder what could have been." Ellen studied his face. 27 years of deferred dreams lived in those eyes. "Marcus, why do you still sing? Why not just stop?" "Because when I sing, I'm not just a janitor. I'm not the kid who gave up his dream. For those few minutes, I'm who I was supposed to be. And it feels like Mama can still hear me. Like maybe I'm making her proud even if I'm just singing to empty chairs." Camera operators were wiping their eyes. This wasn't just a hard luck story. This was about sacrifice, about the dreams we bury to take care of the people we love. But Ellen wasn't just listening as a talk show host anymore. She was listening as someone who was about to facilitate a conversation between this man and someone who understood the power of voice. of dreams, of second chances. Ellen stood up. Marcus, there's someone here who's been listening to our conversation. Someone who knows that voices like yours don't come along every day. Marcus looked confused. What do you mean? Ellen walked toward the wings. Someone who started singing in church just like you. Someone who knows that real talent never has an expiration date. The studio audience began to buzz with anticipation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Beyoncé. The studio exploded. 300 people jumped to their feet screaming. The sound was deafening, but Ellen was watching Marcus, who had gone completely rigid. His mouth fell open, his hands gripped the chair, and then tears started streaming down his face. Beyoncé walked onto that stage like she owned it, because she did. But she wasn't carrying her usual superstar energy. She was carrying something more powerful. Pure, focused purpose aimed directly at the man in that chair. She wore a simple cream blazer and jeans. No elaborate costume. Just presence. Marcus, Beyoncé said, her voice carrying that distinctive warmth. I've been watching your video for 3 weeks, and I need to tell you something. Marcus couldn't speak. He was shaking, staring at the woman whose songs he'd sung in empty classrooms for years. Beyoncé walked directly to him and knelt beside his chair. Not stood, not sat, knelt. The gesture said everything. When Ellen called me and played your video, I didn't hear a janitor. I heard a trained vocalist. I heard soul. I heard someone who sacrificed his dream for his family. And that kind of love, that kind of sacrifice, that's what real artists are made of. Marcus was sobbing now. Can I tell you something? Beyoncé continued. When I was starting out, people told me I was too this, not enough that. But my mama always said the same thing. Talent is a gift from God. What you do with it is your gift back. Marcus, you've been giving your gift to empty classrooms. Today, we're giving you a stage. She reached into her blazer and pulled out an envelope. First, Juilliard. They heard about your story. Full scholarship, not for their regular program, because you're beyond that, but for their professional artist development program. 6 months of intensive training with the best vocal coaches in the world. Marcus's hands were shaking as he took the envelope. But that's not all. Ellen stepped forward with a second envelope. Marcus, you've been working night shifts for 15 years. This envelope contains something that's going to change that. Parkwood Entertainment, that's Beyoncé's company, is offering you a recording contract. A real one. You're going to make an album. The audience was on their feet, but Beyoncé held up her hand. And Marcus? I want to produce it myself. I want to work with you in the studio, because voices like yours are why I fell in love with music in the first place. Marcus stood up suddenly, unable to stay seated. He covered his face with his hands, his whole body shaking with the weight of 27 years of buried dreams suddenly becoming possible. Beyoncé stood and wrapped her arms around him. You gave up your dream to take care of your family. That wasn't giving up, Marcus. That was love. And today, love is giving it back to you. But Ellen had one more surprise. She gestured to the large screen behind them. On it appeared faces Marcus recognized immediately. His 2 younger sisters, both successful now, one a teacher, one a nurse, appearing via video call. Marcus, his sister Lisa said, tears streaming down her face. You gave up everything for us. You raised us. You put us through school. And we never got to say thank you properly. But today, we want you to know. You're our hero. You always have been. His other sister, Carmen, added, "Mama would be so proud, not just of your voice, but of your heart. You chose love over fame, and now you get both." Marcus broke down completely, covering his face. But Ellen wasn't finished. "Marcus, there's something else. Your mama fought cancer for 2 years. In her memory, Beyoncé is establishing the Williams Family Foundation. It will provide full scholarships for young artists who have to defer their dreams to take care of sick family members. Because what you did shouldn't mean your talent dies." Beyoncé added, "And Marcus, you're going to help me run it. Because you know exactly what these kids are going through. You've lived it." The studio wasn't just applauding anymore. People were crying, witnessing something bigger than entertainment. This was redemption. This was a second chance. This was proof that sacrificed dreams don't have to stay buried forever. Marcus turned to Beyoncé, then to Ellen, his voice barely above a whisper. "Why me? Why now?" Beyoncé took his hands. "Because talent doesn't have an expiration date, Marcus. Because your mama is watching. And because the world deserves to hear what empty classrooms have been hearing for 15 years. The show ended with Marcus singing. Right there on Ellen's stage. No preparation, no warm-up. Just raw, powerful vocals that proved every word Beyoncé had said was true. He sang "His Eye is on the Sparrow," his mama's favorite hymn, and when he finished, there wasn't a dry eye in the studio. 6 months later, Marcus Williams had completed his training at Juilliard. He'd recorded his album with Beyoncé producing. The lead single, a tribute to his mother called "I'm Still Singing," debuted at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. But the real transformation wasn't just in his career. It was in how he saw himself. For 27 years, Marcus had defined himself by what he'd given up. Now, working alongside Beyoncé, mentoring young artists through the foundation, he understood something profound. His sacrifice hadn't killed his dream. It had deepened it. Every year of pushing that mop, every night of singing to empty chairs, had given his voice something no conservatory could teach. Soul forged in real love, real loss, real life. His album, Empty Classrooms, went platinum. But more importantly, he'd performed at Carnegie Hall. His sisters sat in the front row crying, wearing their mother's favorite scarves, and somewhere they all knew their mama was singing along. The night of the Carnegie Hall performance, before going on stage, Marcus stood backstage holding a photo of his mother. Beyoncé found him there. "She's watching," Beyoncé said simply. "I know," Marcus replied. "And for the first time, I'm not singing despite the sacrifice. I'm singing because of it. Every note tonight is for her." When he walked onto that stage and sang, the audience of 2,800 people heard something they'd never forget. They heard a voice that had learned to sing through grief, through sacrifice, through 27 years of putting others first. They heard what happens when talent meets love and refuses to die. Today, Marcus Williams is a working recording artist. He's performed with Beyoncé at the Grammys, standing on that stage where he once thought he'd never belong. He's toured nationally, singing in stadiums instead of empty classrooms. He's become a voice for caregivers who sacrifice their dreams for family, speaking at hospitals and caregiver conferences about how love and dreams don't have to be enemies. The Williams Family Foundation has helped 73 young artists continue their education while caring for sick family members. Each scholarship recipient gets something else too. A personal call from Marcus, reminding them that sacrifice isn't failure, it's preparation for something bigger. His most requested song isn't from his album. It's the one he sang that day on Ellen. "His Eye is on the Sparrow," performed live. still makes audiences weep because they can hear his mother's love in every note. Ellen keeps a photo from that day in her dressing room. Beyoncé kneeling beside Marcus, both of them understanding that some gifts are worth waiting for. She looks at it whenever she needs, reminding that her show isn't just entertainment. It's a bridge between buried dreams and second chances. And Marcus? He still has his janitor's uniform, framed in his home studio next to his platinum record. Below it, a plaque reads,